you go so hard for them? And I was like, bro, that's just the name of the game. Like, pay homage to the people who came before you. He's like, bro, fuck that. When you gonna pay homage to yourself? He said, man, fuck MLM, bro. You gotta brand you. You gotta become the authority, not the company.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build the game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again at 4:37 a.m. on this lovely Sunday morning. But before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How are we doing, Mac?
I'm a little irritated, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. At corporate America, man, I'm done. Like I know I said I'm done already, like multiple times before, but bro, I'm just like, how much more BS could these companies, these corporations out here just give people, dog? I'll get it more into it in a second, man. But I'm like, you just sit back and just laugh at the stuff that goes on around you, dog. And you just feel like, yo, I can't believe this is really happening. Like, there's somebody out here allowing this. It's like, yo, I know this is happening, but I'm just gonna let it roll. But go ahead, man. How you been, dog?
About the same, trying to not, kill myself out here for this job. It's real easy to get swept into the jobs problems.
The monotony.
Because like right now at my job, we're very understaffed, and
Always.
it's like we're pulling resources to help out one county, but we're struggling in other counties. Like the county I'm in or the county that I'm working in, it's only me. Like literally, I'm working with like 7 different contractors, that got like 7 different crews, and they're trying to do work everywhere, but they can't do work until I finish my work. So I'm holding up everybody calling me. I'm got like 3-4 people in my ear a day talking about, hey, can you get to our stuff? Can we get this done? And I'm like, dog, I'm doing the best I can. I'm only one person, dog, and y'all asking for miles of work that I can't even do in a day. So it's wild.
And of course, when the chips all fall, and all of these big projects that got to get held up because you can't do your job. Of course, it don't fall on the company because the company understaffed. It fall on Marcus because Marcus ain't doing his job. Man, terrible, dog. I hope that don't play out like that. But just knowing the experience that I've had with corporate America, I know exactly where this is going. Because if they don't get their shit together, they're gonna have to find a fall guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is every single time. Every single time. And it just, and honestly, like, if for whatever reason, bro, and I like I said, I knock on wood, I hope this don't happen to you, but like I've seen it happen way too many times. These big companies, they bite off more than they can chew, and they don't treat their people right. So all the people that they did have leave them, or they went and searched for new opportunities. So you got one dude just holding the fort, and their clients are complaining. And like you just said, it's big projects. All it takes is for one of those projects to be stupid important. like some kind of city land development or some shit
Yeah.
that the governor is involved in or something like that, or like hell, they opened the school back up that you were telling me about on a few episodes ago, and whatever reason you can't get to it because you got locked down and some other shit like way across the county or something, and then the right person call and be like, yo, this is unacceptable, we can't do this, and you guys are going to get shut down if you don't resolve this problem. Like, oh shit, who was on that? Marcus. All right, sir, we fired the problem. We're going to re the and they just battle more time. Like they're not going to actually fix the problem. They just going to, make it look like they did something to kind of to buy themselves more time. Man, I see it happen way too often in corporate America, dog.
Yep. That is. you hit it on the head because like we and it's not a hard job, but it's just like the dysfunction kind of pushes people away, because they come on and we because we hired like 3-4 people or something, and then lost 2. So it's like take a step forward and then take 2 steps back because we lose people, and then they gotta get sent somewhere else to make up for the people we just lost, and it's just like I said, resources get spread thin, and like you said, at the end of the day, somebody got to take the fall, and it's not the people in the office, it's the people that's out there working the hardest, actually doing work, and it's just it is what it is. That's corporate America.
Like for real, like you ever played like Warhammer or like StarCraft or something, like one of the what do they call them, build and destroy games, like they like got the top down view, you build your base and stuff and build your armies and stuff like that, like those kind of games, the strategy games is what they call. Civilization, you never played any of those?
Yeah. I'm familiar with the genre.
So yeah, like it's almost like you playing a strategy game, and then like you like as the person with the person controlling the mouse and doing all the clicks, the keyboard, or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, like you are the one in charge. And if you lose the game, it ain't because it ain't because the people in the game ain't doing their job, because you click. You dragged and drop a unit over here, and you said do this, and then a unit over here did this, and it countered like the two actions countered each other. Like it doesn't fall on the units themselves; it falls on the person who clicked. And I think that's what these management people, they need to, bro. I wish I could do like some kind of corporate training and train managers, dog. Like I swear, dog. Like that would be the perfect setup. Like you want your business to thrive, you want your business to do better, bro. Like hire me, I come talk to y'all. It's like they feel like, okay, we hiring this guy to talk to our employees. Nah. I can talk to the employees, but after I talk to the employees, I want the employees to leave. I want to talk to the managers now, because the employees, they'd have said that y'all did. We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that. Right, first company I'll go into is Amazon.
I'm starting at the source. I'm going big dog.
The source of all of my complaints, all of my stress.
Nah, but that's actually real talk though. Because you have people in management, or you have people that rise up the ranks, right? And then they get swept into that mentality of, I did my dues, so I ain't gotta relate to people up under me. I ain't gotta associate myself with the people up under me now. And it's like you came from that. Like, how you gonna move up and just forget everything you've been through?
Some people.
Yeah, some people.
Some people skip steps.
Oh yeah. And it's like you had the same complaints when you was at the bottom, but now all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden when you move up, those complaints just disappear, and you expect people to do more work than you did when you was at the bottom. So it's
You know
like
what I'm saying? It's
it's
only because they job on the line,
mm,
and now they understand their boss's problem. It's just like me with Carlton. You know, like I
mm,
said, like yeah, I used to give Carlton a hard time before I became my leadership, and I had to go back to my man Carlton and like just like straight up apologize to my man. I'm like, yo, I understand now. You were protecting me from some things, and I get it. Like this is like I came in with the military mindset. I was thinking that I was going to do the same thing here that I did there, and it ain't the same. So like for real, like I don't even know if you did it intentionally or not. Like, but you protected me and you kept me safe. Like I could have been gone a long time ago. Thank you for what you did. And like I really had to humble myself after becoming and like getting into his spot, cause like understanding the things that he was doing and understanding that there was limitations on his position and what he was able to do, and like yo, like shit rolls downstream, and I really started to understand that after working for Amazon.
mm. That's that's interesting because thinking back and like thinking about how people complained about like the smallest thing, the smallest inconvenience, at the grunt level, and just knowing some of the stuff you told me about the problems or the limitations that they were putting on you, uh it almost seems like those little small problems that everybody else had was dang near insignificant, because like you know
It were.
it it could be a lot worse, like
Yeah,
if
like if you knew exactly what I was protecting you from in the meantime, like you wouldn't even be in my face complaining about that little small thing that you got going on, because it could be a lot worse. But you can't necessarily say that because people ain't gonna understand that. They don't give a shit. Like they can't see the future. They can't see the past. Like they don't understand like the heights of how bad it could have been. Like they don't really care. Only thing they care about what's in front of them.
mm, yeah.
And since we going in this direction, I do have a topic for this episode. But go ahead, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, we can get into that balls or false, but that also
Oh
what you
yeah,
were talking about was it reminded me of that special area or that special door that no one liked, T Rick, and you could tell somebody all day every day that today T Rick ain't gonna be as bad as it's been. It's gonna be light. We can see the projected value. It's gonna be kind of low today. But nah, they had that bad experience with T Rick that one time. They know T Rick is known for this. They don't want to go near it. They don't even want to touch it. Whoever
yeah. It's
in it, they
been
don't even want to help him.
it's been days where that joint only had like that joint only had like 400 units going out, and like folks would like you gotta move me. I gotta move. I can't go there, and get moved to something bigger, like two times more volume, and I'm like, all right, I guess that's human nature. I don't know. It was just certain
But
ones. Like some people, they were just like, bro, I'm here to work. Like it don't matter. And then there was other people who were like, I'm here to work. It don't matter, until they got in there. Then it was like, bro, what you doing? Like, why you put me here? Bro, you said you at work. It don't matter. And then there's other people who just straight up don't want to work. So no matter where you put them, it's just too much work, and it's unfair. But anyway,
so,
so ladies and gentlemen, we are, for the first time in about 75 episodes, I believe, we're going to bring back a concept known as false or false. Now, this segment, it it started way back when we first started the podcast, when we were in the studio, and it throws out two scenarios, or it throws out a scenario, and we try to get the other person on the podcast to make make an assumption of whether or not that is a boss move or a false move. So here it is, boss or false. Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got a little scenario that I want to throw at you, and it just happened on my job last week, and it was so weird, bro. Like in the all right, let me start by saying this. Like, disciplinary action happens on a different scale at every location, every job that you work at. Like, not everybody do things the same, and I understand that. But like, there's just like a certain way to handle certain shit when you like the manager, like the general manager of a location, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you got to fire somebody, you expect, like, what do you expect to happen when somebody gets fired at your job? Like, just go ahead and tell me how that usually works if the general manager has to fire somebody.
Well, at my job, I don't know. They don't really fire people like that. But
Oh, they just
I would.
disappear if they need to. You just don't see them no more.
I expect they come to them. Since we don't really got like an office space, I guess they like
Hey man,
call
let's go
them
walk
up.
and talk. Let's go walk and talk.
I guess they would call them up or like send them a very detailed email or something about
Right there.
whatever the issue was, if it was production, if it was like a quality error, you got too many quality errors, in this case damages, like a certain amount of tickets that you have, the projects that are being done, they keep breaking out lines or cutting out lines or whatever.
Break it down to the end, bro. Break it down to the end.
And I guess you would get let go. They would tell you not to clock in
Just
anymore.
return your truck.
Not even that. They just park it in the front yard, leave the keys in the gas tank, and we'll come pick it up. Just don't clock in anymore. Put all the stuff, all the work belongings in the truck.
Wow.
We'll come pick it up. Don't even get back in that truck.
All right. Okay. All right. So that, I mean, but the yeah, that one's a little strange. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. But it's to be expected with a job like that where everybody works remote from each other. So I get that part. But there's a protocol to how it's done though. So
I believe so.
my whole problem was like, so we had a dude that worked with me, and like, I didn't really know how I felt about the dude, but obviously everybody else felt great about him. I was just like, he looked too much like Chase. I don't like him. But I just left it at that. So I was like, yo, I'm a stand back and I'm gonna kind of watch to see what happens here. And he was a salesperson when I got there, and then they made him the internet leads manager. So he got promoted and he was doing internet leads and all that other stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. That's dope for my man. Whatever. So one day, like it's like 2 months ago, all of a sudden he just ain't show up for work, and we heard that his commissions was zero for the month. Like, he didn't get paid, so he just didn't show back up to work. And I was like, oh man, that's messed up. Like, I don't know why they did my man like that. But then when he came, like 2 weeks later, he came back as a salesperson again. I was like, yep, that's kind of weird. Like, what the fuck is going on with that? Like, kind of shit is like, imagine somebody getting promoted, working the job for a month, and then just going back to like demoting themselves. Like, I was like, oh, I ain't never seen no mess like this before, bro. But they just kind of swept it under the rug. And they just let it fly. Like, okay, we just act like it didn't happen. move on. He worked with us in sales again for like another month, and then all of a sudden he just didn't show up for work again. So everybody was confused, like, this is not right. The general manager, he's like, well, it's part of a team. He's not here. So, it kind of messes you guys up. I'm like, looking around like, bro, this ain't got shit to do with me. Like, him not being here is a blessing to me. I'm a sales guy. That dude, he's a shark. He lies to people to get people to sign papers. Like,
That's less competition I got to deal with
I'm
now.
saying,
Right?
not only less competition, but that's less people putting dark seeds out on the table to get me to clean it up at the end. Like, there's less people complaining at the end of the day. There's less people mad because they got sold some shit that they shouldn't have got sold. Like, it's a blessing on all parts. So I'm like, for real, like, that man was making money, but like, him not being here, I'm good with that. Like, I'm looking around and everybody just frumpy in the face. I'm like, okay, like, whatever. So, and while he's saying this, I'm just looking around, like, everybody just nodding their heads, and I'm just like, the fuck is happening? And then all of a sudden, my man said, now I need you guys to, individually send me a message on Teams and let me know if you want him to remain a part of the team.
Oh wow.
And like, he just kind of moved on, and that was the end of the startup meeting, and everybody just walking off, like, just everybody just walking off in their phones, and I'm just like standing there, like, looking around, like, oh, y'all was serious. So he walks away. Like, both of the managers walk away. Sales manager, general manager, they walk away, and everybody just kind of standing there talking. And they just like moved on, like, just started talking about some other shit, like he didn't say it. So I was like, so we're not gonna talk about the fact that we got to vote somebody off the island,
Right.
like how we handling shit like Survivor. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we're adults. Like, what are we doing? And then one of the girls that worked with me was like, oh yeah, he was still in leads.
Mm.
And everybody was like, yeah, bro, you didn't know? Apparently, I was the only one that didn't know.
No.
So I'm the only black guy there too. So it might have something to do with it, but I ain't gonna go there. That ain't got nothing to do with this. But anyway, so Boss of Foss, that my general manager is treating his associates like Survivor, and getting us to vote each other off the island.
Ooh, that's so. All right. I mean, is all right. So your job, does it benefit for everybody to work together like a almost like a sport? Like, you got a basketball team, you got your shooter, you got your point guard, you got your your defense and all that other stuff. Is it kind of like that, or it's kind of like a Shark Tank, everybody for themselves?
You ever had a fuck just like about to explode from your mouth, like, and you can feel it, like, it's so forceful, you can feel it in the back of your throat, like, fuck no, absolutely not. And they preach that teamwork thing, help your coworkers and all that stuff, but hell no, bro. It only works for certain people. Like, we got two females that work there. Like, when they need help, we all got to drop everything we doing to jump and try to help them. And I mean, it's rightfully so. One of the girls pregnant. So like, whenever I see her trying to move shit and she be trying to manhandle stuff, I'm just like, yo, nah, bro, come on, man. Come on. Like, I'll get up in the middle of a negotiation and help her out. Cause like, yo, you a pregnant woman and you out here trying to push a Indian pursuit through the to service. I'm like, what are we doing here? So nah, like, but it's supposed to be like everybody's supposed to help each other. Like, I ended up in a situation yesterday. I was juggling 3 customers. We had a dude who was He was ducking and dodging work. But that's a whole different scenario. But I needed to load up somebody that I already sold. And dealerships, they ain't really trying to talk to nobody who already bought. So my man told me, just focus on who you got in front of you. We'll get to that in a second. I'm like, dog, been here for an hour. And he bought yesterday, and we held him here yesterday for like 7 hours. Like, he worked the shift with us. Like, I need help to go load his shit up so he can go about his business, bro. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, nah. To answer your question in a long frame, no, it's not like a teamwork. It's not a team sport.
I say that's a false move. Then that's a big false. If it wasn't like, all right, let's create a atmosphere where everybody's in sync. We gonna give the bottom people that are actually out here doing the work. We gonna give them the power to create the atmosphere they need to thrive. But nah, if it's like that, nah, that's a false move. Cause they ain't. That's just. That is savage. I've never heard.
Bro, I've never, like, in a corporate setting, like maybe like a small team, everybody are partners or something like that. Maybe like you might see something like that, sole proprietorship kind of situation.
Yeah.
But like, bro, we talking about a whole corporation right now, multiple locations, and my man literally said, "All right, send me your vote, cast your vote." If you want this man to stay on the team. I'm like, bro, there was and the weird part about it was the fact that I sent a message, right? Because he asked me, he said, "So you got Teams on your phone?" I was like, "Yeah, I got Teams on my phone." Wait, did you send a message? I didn't see it. I was like, "No, I didn't send a message because I don't feel comfortable doing that. Like, I don't know anything about what happened. Everybody else obviously knows something that I don't. And I don't feel comfortable. Like, I'm not you. So I don't feel comfortable making your decision." So he pulled me to the side and he talked to me and let me know that it's like, yeah, you guys are a team, and he should have been here. Imagine how much time it would cut from you guys to have an extra person out there moving units outside at the beginning of the day. And he sat there and went on for about 3 minutes and still didn't tell me what the real problem was. And still expected me to vote. So finally, I just said, "Bro, you're the GM, man. Like, if I were you and there was an associate causing problems, I would handle it accordingly. Like, if the problem isn't, if it's big enough for me to deal with and move forward, and it's not going to happen again, that's one thing. But if I deal with it and it happens again, and obviously this is something that happened multiple times, like if in your position, I don't have time to deal with problematic people. So if he's a problematic person, bruh, go ahead and get rid of him." And I walked away. I was like, "Bruh, I don't know what you want from me. Like, I'm not about to vote. I don't feel comfortable doing this. This is not my decision. I don't know what's going on. This is not cool." False move.
Big false. Big false. Yeah. That's crazy. That's the first time I've ever heard of something like that happening.
Bro, from the top of the top. Like, how are we handling situations like this? Like, it makes me wonder, like, how much of my job has been dictated off of situations like this. Could you imagine us being in a startup meeting when we were working at Amazon and telling people to vote on how we were going to run the ship, doc?
That I mean, but that goes back to what we said at the start. The people at the bottom, they can't see that projected volume, the stuff that's happening down the line. So that's a risky move. That would have been a risky play to be at.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, yeah, they voted him off.
They voted him off.
He is no
This,
he is no longer on the island. He did not survive.
he said, "You are the weakest link. Goodbye."
Goodbye.
That's wild.
Yeah, bro, it's so strange, and I'm just like, and then I got my head on the swivel because like the following day they sent out a joint on our we use this app called Bamboo for our HR services, and like they told us that we got to do a survey rating our coworkers.
All right, because
And tell
that's
me what
not
you think about that
that's not suspicious at all.
at all, right? Look, check, please. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see if you can.
Yeah,
Please
please
provide
provide
feedback.
feedback.
Please,
Wow.
bruh. I'm like, dog. I can't do this. Like, I don't know what's up with this. I obviously know where I want to fall in this whole category. It's going to be very, very negative on my part because I, I I don't necessarily click with my coworkers like that. Like they'll be standing around talking and like they don't invite me into conversations and I see it. Like, you know, like I said, I'm the only black guy there. So like it's like we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna see if they get me out before I get out myself. That way I can at least file unemployment. But
Yes.
all right, man. So in addition to that, dog, like I know on this podcast, we just get to talking about work and work related troubles all the time. And it gets old, but it's just what happens when you subject yourself to something for so long and you don't decide to change. Right. So I just want to throw an idea out there. And this idea, you know, in its entirety, I just want to put it out on the table. And if nothing that we have said on this podcast has made you want to just up and just jump off a cliff and open up your parachute to see if it opens, like I hope this conversation does. And it's not something that we actually discussed before, but it's something that we kind of inferred on, but not necessarily had a full topic about. But that is branding. Now, I'm gonna pull up the definition of branding, so I can actually do this correctly. I want to make sure that we cover all bases and talk about this. Give me 1 second, Mark. So when I say branding, what comes to mind, Mark?
Cattle.
Wow.
But put
Fucking country boy
country boy
answer.
like but no, branding, you know, pursuing the things that I'm pursuing now, it kind of widened my definition of branding. It's more of a not like just a logo or a slogan or something you put on a service or a article of clothing or fabric or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's you. It's your own spin, your own, you know, a piece of flavor in a dish that you're creating or something. It's
Yeah.
a part of you. It's not something a part of the service or the brand. It's more you, what you put into whatever
Mm-hmm.
you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, here's the definition of branding: the promotion of a particular product or company by means of advertising and distinctive design. The process of branding should be considered in global terms. Global terms.
Oh.
global terms. All right. So as of late, man, I've been struggling with that branding piece.
Mhm.
It's like it's a lot of different facets, right? You know, got a lot of names going out there. You know, Iron Titan, Aaron Mack, AJ McMullen. Like I just recently started branding myself as AJ McMullen within the last what was it, 3 years, Mark? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah,
Yeah,
3 or 4.
2021, 3 years. Yeah, 2021 was when I started branding myself as AJ McMullen. And you know, that makes sense because of, you know, the Aether Universe books. So on top of branding Aether, um, Ascension Media, you know, this podcast, you know, I kind of struggle with the which brand or which moniker should go, like where do I stand at, where but in amongst all of those brands, right? And I decided that with with the YouTube channel, with me calling myself AJ the Iron Titan, I decided that I was going to brand myself as AJ when I get to work. Like, you know, on my job, I brand myself as AJ McMullen at work. So I'm just like, I'm there and I'm using this name, and this name is on my books. This name is on YouTube. But whatever people feel about this company that I work for, they're going to tie this name
Mm.
to this company. And no matter what I do from this point on, if somebody hears this name, they're going to remember this company. And my name is never going to mean anything to them because I have associated myself with XYZ company that they don't approve of. So, and as we're talking about this global scale, the farther this company that I've tied my name to, the farther they go, the more my name is going to be disliked.
Mhm.
Even if it's not that case, that's still how that works. To this customer, I will be the scum of the earth if this company is the scum of the earth problem to them. So I was dealing with some issues with some stuff going on like at work, and you know it's simple stuff that happens, you know, but you know everybody got their different opinions on things, and I'm not trying to tell anybody that their opinion is wrong, but you know, uh, considering that we voting people off the island, it just kind of it kind of begs the question of, you know, what are we really doing behind the scenes, and like how much of this stuff is being caught on by our customers and our clients. So like as we're going through our day to day, you know, phone ring, I pick up the phone, I'm saying this is AJ from XYZ company. And like every time I had to say it, a little piece of my soul just goes away in that speaker on that phone, bro. Like I just end up sending a piece of my soul to the customer. And like every time I gotta announce myself or introduce myself, I'm AJ. And then it's AJ that works for this company that, you know, that screwed me over, that I'm about to call the Federal Trade Commissions on. I'm like, bro, hold up. So finally, like I guess one of my people, they saw what was going on internally. Like the dude just kind of saw through me, and he was just like, he's like, y'all, how long you been working here, man? I was like, yeah, I've been working here for like 3 months. So you like it? It's like it's a job. It's all right. Um, okay, so how you feel about working here? Like, I mean, I started this job to kind of sharpen my sales experience because I'm an author, and I got to stand in front of people and present my product a lot. So it only made sense to work in sales to help move that. It was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But how do you feel about working here? Is the question I asked you, and I was like, oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I can help out some people. And he looked at me. He was like, "Let me stop you there. You really think you just helped out that lady that just called up here complaining about service after she got sold something and ain't hear nothing from nobody in like 2 months? Like, do you really think that was helping?" It's like, the man, this is somebody that I was selling a motorcycle to.
Oh man.
Yeah. So he laid me out. He was like, so I mean, where was the help at? I was like, yeah, you helped me out a lot, but if I end up in the same boat 2 months down the line, did you really help? Or did you just do your job? He said, look, he's like, yo, like, I'm not trying to stir up nothing. He's like, I'm just calling it like it is. I want this bike. So your performance here has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm asking you, but I'm asking you right now, do you feel in your heart of hearts that you actually helping people? And I was just like, nah, bro, I don't. He said, look, I saw you when you answered the phone, and you just had this spirit on your face because I had to answer a service call in front of him. It was before we got the service manager that we got, like before things started to turn around back there, and people were getting pissed on the phone because they couldn't there was nobody to talk to about their issues that they were having. And I picked up the phone in front of him because nobody else was picking up the phone. Like, obviously, everybody who didn't have a customer in front of them, they should have been the one picking it up. But for whatever reason, I was the one picking it up, and I had somebody at my desk, and had to deal with that. And he was like, "Yo, I saw what your face did before the person on the phone even said anything. During your introduction, I saw how you felt about what you were saying before the person even said anything." He said, "Dog, your name means something to you." And I was like, "Yeah, my full name means something to me. First, middle, last, and last." And he was like, I see it in you." He said, "Look, I'm gonna be real with you. Be careful what you attach your name to in life. If your name ain't attached to something that you approve of, you got to make a change."
That's crazy. And so a lot of people don't come to that realization, especially poor folks, because we are quick to sign that dotted line, and like you said, if your name, and it goes so deep, it goes with everything, any and everything that you do. You trying to co-sign for something. If you're trying to apply for something, as soon as you put your name on your dotted line, that's paperwork that goes into a record that this is you. Like with the credit board, everything you sign that a credit bureau has to look at, file. They know you better than, like you said, they know you better than you know you. They know, all right, this person he is horrible with credit. The name Marcus Morton, credit score low, he making bad financial decisions and all this other stuff. This person is not a person that we want to associate or do business with.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And they
life.
know they know exactly what you gonna do before you even do it. That's how much they know you. They can make a prediction based off of your past decisions about finances, how long it's gonna take before you end up in another financial slump.
Exactly.
They have computer systems that calculate this.
Like I said, that's everyday life. Your name is it works just that way.
Mm-hmm.
You got bad credit, you got a bad report whatever with people.
Rapport.
That's how you're seen. You know, your name come up and they like, ooh, you associate yourself with that person? They be like, yeah, you know, we go way back, like 4 flats on the Cadillac. Oh, all right, so you
Well, you
must
better
be.
fill the air up and drive away.
Like, so y'all must be, you know, cut from the same cloth. So all right, we ain't. I think you need to, you know, go on about your business. We're gonna end this conversation here. We go our separate ways, sir. And I'm like, that's real. That is so
Well,
real.
I was just thinking, like, as I'm getting cussed out by one of my previous customers for something that went wrong in service,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she addressed me by name, like, AJ, this ain't right. I will never do business with this company again. And like when she said it, only thing I heard was, AJ, this isn't right. I will never buy one of your books again. That's the only thing I heard. I was like, oh my. That didn't feel good. Like
That would hurt my
this
heart.
is it's not even my problem, but I'm sitting here dealing with it. But like, and that's a you know, that brings up another point that you know, my sales manager said, you know somebody said, well, I didn't do that, and he said, he looks at him and says, well, you know, it may not be your fault, but now it's your problem. And bruh,
Oh.
I am feeling that right now. It's not my fault that my company is dropping the ball on so many things.
That is my
But
yeah.
but it's becoming my problem that my name is attached to it.
Yeah. That I hate that too, cause so you know, job I'm at, I don't know. Do y'all have a company phone, or do you have a company phone?
No, I
Oh,
don't have a personal phone now. A
company
personal
phone.
company phone.
Personal.
Like
Okay.
a no. You talking about like an individual cell phone for the
That the company gave you that
yeah,
you
it
do all
shit
your.
would be so helpful if I did, but no, I don't.
Okay. Okay. So we have a company phone, right? And you would think that you would get notified on this company phone when your number has been given out. Um, but no, not at all. So just like you said, it's not my fault, but I'm learning that these problems are arriving, and I'm left to fix them. You know, I got people calling my company phone, like I answer it and it's like, this is Marcus, and I'm like, yes, uh, XYZ, this problem has arrived. It hasn't been solved yet. We need you to get on it. And I'm like, first of all, who am I
That's
speaking to? Uh,
that is not our operation procedures. You are
who
skipping
gave you
steps, my
my
dude.
number? Um, but yeah, it would be like my supervisor would have given out my number or something, and before they can even text me and say, hey, such and such needs this done, that person's already calling, and I'm like, hold on. I don't even know these people. I haven't met these people. You can't be just giving my name and company number out like that. Cause I'm like, who are you? When have we met? Do I even have your work in my box? He's gonna get it done. Marcus will get it done. I'm like, that's insane. Cause I'm already juggling like 4 or 5 people, and you just adding more stuff to the top.
Right.
I got this mountain of paperwork. You just steady dropping papers on my desk. Like, we need this done by this time. Somebody
Right.
messed up, so We gotta get it covered. We gotta make it right. I'm the only one at the desk doing the paperwork. Where is this we? You mean me?
How about we mean the company? Because now you are representing their brand.
Yeah.
So when they say we, I mean, you know, us as a conglomerate whole, you got to make we look good. But we don't have to make you look good. This ain't a two-way street.
Hell no.
So the reason why I wanted to bring up this branding conversation, and like I already got my plan in motion. Like I'm not even tripping over my story. Like it's already I already took a L in that category. I learned a lot, but I took a L. Like real talk. Like the longer I stay associated with where I'm at, the longer it'll keep me from going to where I'm supposed to go. And I know that. So, you know, it took me a long time to understand this conversation, but I've always been the person who says that I got to do it for my last name. I got to do it for my legacy. So, with that being said, like, excuse me. With that being said, I am always paying attention to how I cast my image out into the world. And it's not because I want to, but it's because I'm supposed to. Because as a person of influence, there has to be a certain kind of you had to cast a light out into the world. And your light has an image. And you had to fine tune what image you want to show to the world, because every little misstep is going to alter that image in any way. Like, and is an unpredictable outcome of how that image is going to look, because you might do something that you intend on being a certain type of way. Like you could do some kind of charitable act or something, and somebody might take offense to it. So you had to be conscious of what kind of moves you make and what kind of energy you're putting out there. So me in this scenario, I screwed up. I should have never did what I did. The plan that I'm making right now, I should have automatically jumped towards that. Like there should never been like I shouldn't have backtracked and went to another job. Like I should have stayed doing what I was doing. But because we needed stability, I decided to get another job instead of going for my goals. So where I wanted to go with this, right? I wanted to let everybody know, and I know you feel like, yo, my name isn't really worth all that. I get it. You know, you might just be working a job. You probably never thought about this. You probably just like, okay, I don't even understand what they're talking about here. We're talking about your name. There are companies out here, like, bro, there's a whole logo game out right now. Like, I don't know if you ever played it, Mark, the logo game, and show you a bunch of logos and don't show you the names on them, and you guess what the logos are. Bro, there are companies out here that have logos so profound. They have branded themselves so much that you can look at their company logo without the name and automatically remember an experience. There are things that symbolize, like, all right, so Taco Bell. Here's the psychology of Taco Bell, right? Anytime somebody think about the word liberty, they think about tacos.
Yeah, because every time you said Taco Bell, that bell rings. Dong, dong.
Yeah. You're out in town and you hear a church bell go off. You see a Taco Bell, I want tacos. You're automatically suggested your dinner plans when you drive past every bell that you see. A bell tower. You think about like these are. That's just how an example of how deep branding could go. So imagine if you were to take charge of your name and decided that I will no longer associate my name with ridiculousness I will no longer associate my name with trash. I will no longer associate my name with drama. Think about, if I'm going to brand myself, I am going to brand myself to be a positive to this society. Just imagine what you could do with your life if you decided that my name will no longer be obstructed by the circumstances that I put myself in.
I feel that. And we 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 dictate we dictate our actions, our thought processes over a name, like subliminally. It just happens. Like even in the video game industry, uh if a certain name pops up, you know, they could come out with the greatest game ever. They could be working on some straight fire, something that
Mm-hmm.
the people always wanted, but if that certain company comes up, oh man, they gonna paywall, they gonna do XYZ because they have that negative branding.
Mm-hmm.
They lose sales, and like people don't even want to, you know, partner with it. I mean, companies still do, but like when you have a great game company like Square Enix or Activision, whatever, and they're like, oh, they partner with such and such, they partner with EA, you already know you about to drop bands. You about to pay for the game. You gonna pay to play the game. You gonna pay for the DLC in the game. You gonna pay for chapter 1 to the end for that game.
Right.
It's just the branding and the branding that they had made for themselves.
I'm sorry.
And
You said a game company. Did you say EA?
yeah, I said EA.
Yeah, I thought you were explaining EA. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
hear you, but I was like, he
Exactly.
must be talking about
Yeah.
EA. And that was real. Like, I was really scratching my ear and didn't hear him say that. I was not paying attention. But as he started, like, just get how deep that is. He started explaining what they did, what they do, because that's their model. They charge you to play the game long after you have purchased the game. Like, literally, you can turn on the game after purchasing the disc for the game, pop it into your system, and they're literally going to charge you for playing the game.
Mm-hmm. Think what was it? The famous one was
Battlefront.
Battlefront. Yep, there it is. I thought I was doing something. I got it for cheap from like just dollar store place. It was used games. They were selling used games at this time.
Yeah.
Bought that jank,
Yeah.
went home, popped it in. I thought I was about to do something. Bruh, literally, just like Mac explained, the start menu is a pay to play subscription something. Like it's like, all right, to go to this little section of the menu, it got the little price tag at the bottom. Over here, price tag at the bottom. I'm like, what the?
They let you play a demo with like one character and one gun. You get to run around for about 20 seconds before somebody gun you down, and that is the end of it. Yeah, I played the Star Wars Battlefront.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one it ruined EA games for me forever.
Yeah, that's.
But I was like, this is such a cool game, but I'll never get to play it.
It's and that like we said, yo, that is deep. Your name is it. It's crazy how we take it for so lightly. You know, we just go out here, live our life, and we're just like, you know, oblivious to our actions actually mean something. Our actions are shaping how people view us, how people see us, like even way past, you know, high school and beyond. You know, that people still remember you from that era. I mean, if they don't grow
They
up with
remember
you,
your brand.
exactly. And it's like people out here living like their last name is just that, just the last of their name, and they don't do nothing to build that. You know, you try to you try to strive somebody, and they're like, who are you talking about? All right, such and such that the star of the football team, was always charismatic. They just brought this energy to whatever they did. That example right there, somebody's last name or somebody's name came to mind when I said all that. It's just how your brain
And no
works.
matter what school you went to, we all had one.
Exactly. It your brain works off similarities. It connects the
Speaking
dots.
of, I need to find out what Tootie at right now. That man was in the NFL, man. He got drafted to the Tennessee Titans like 4 years ago. No, actually, no, it's been longer than that. But we graduated high school like in 2009. I think it was like 2011. He got drafted to the Tennessee Titans.
And it's wild because growing up with my folks, and that's why I'm so heavy on the Morton name, because like it's weird because we have a brand. Like, if it's not the looks, like I've had people, just old heads too. They'll squint, they look, and I'm like, oh Lord, somebody know my family. Like, you a Morton boy, ain't you? I'm like, yes sir, or yes ma'am. They're like, yep. See it in the face. How your folks doing? Daddy still 10 windows. I was like, yes sir, yeah. And it's just a whole spew. It's like, they good folks. Yeah. You in good hands. I know you a good one. And I'm like, I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all you
Thank
can
you.
say. I'm like, so apparently there's a good report on the Morton name out there. There's a slightly negative one. For some reason, we are known for being players. Apparently we got the Mac game on lock. I don't understand why, but it just,
Was that your brothers
nah,
or like uncles or so?
yeah, uncles, my grandpappy, he was he was a big flirt. They big flirts. That's all it is. But they just kind, nice people. That's all it is, really. They're just really kind people. They very kind hearted. Like, they'll give the shirts off their backs if you needed help. They was always willing to. They didn't have much, but they was always willing to give what they had or what they could, and that's a legacy that I'm proud that to be a part of. That I'm trying to
Right.
put into other avenues, and
Yeah.
it's crazy that people don't have that out there, or people are trying to start that, and it's a wonderful feeling.
Well, I mean, like, look at my family, bro. Like, I don't have the same last name as anybody in my immediate family.
Right.
Like, it's just me and my mom only got it because she got married, and she's been a Jones her entire life. Like, even after getting married and taking my dad's last name, she's still a Jones. Like, she still acts like part of the Jones family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't really know what what the Joneses family reputation is. Like, apparently everybody know my grandma. My grandma used to run a speakeasy in Petersburg, so like everybody knew her. Like, she was part of that like that community piece, and like everybody knew my family. Like, even now, like, old heads come through to my job, and like they're like, "Yo, you look familiar." I'm like, "Yeah, you probably know the Jones family in Petersburg." It's like, "Yeah, I know." Like, and they said my grandma's name, and I'm like, "Yep, my grandma used to live on Rome Street. I've probably seen you there a lot of my life. You drinking away, but whatever the case is." But outside of that, I'm not a Jones.
Mm-hmm.
My last name is McMullen. It's literally just me. Like, Morton, how many Mortons did you go to school with, Mark? Like, when you were in school, how many Mortons were there?
For real, it was just
It
I
was
think we had
just,
one other, but I think it was just really me and my brothers.
but there was more than one.
Yeah, yeah.
You had somebody. It was just one McMullen. Just one.
I feel that.
Just one McMullen. I was the only one there, bro. So like for real, and even my cousins, like I had cousins that was in the school with me, and bro, they weren't even like we didn't even associate with each other.
Mm.
So like as we're as we're talking about this branding thing, right? I just want y'all to understand, like, and we can end it off of this, bro. Like, you got to be conscious of where your name ends up. Like, think about the celebrities that you follow, right? Like, I know that there's certain celebrities that don't even associate themselves with certain brands because it'll mess up their image.
Or vice versa.
Bruh. Yeah, right. Bruh, there was a time where Taylor Swift called T.I. and offered him a spot to open up on his on her on a global tour that she was doing. Ti Taylor Swift like Ti's music so much that she asked him personally to go on tour with him with her, and my man was just like, "Yo, like I'm honored and all, but like." We got completely different crowds, bro. Like we I make trap music, girl. You make country music. Like I don't know, we can.
I
But
don't
man,
think that mix real well.
it don't mix, right? He's like, yo, like I don't know if we gonna have like a bunch of little teenage white girls in the crowd rocking bumping their head to what you know about that. Like I don't know if we got the juice like that. Turns out he actually did have the juice like that. There was a Ti song that came on at work one day, and all the white girls that was in there, they just thought, "What you know about?" I was like, "What is happening here?" So anyway, that's beyond the point. But bruh, like there has to be certain decisions that you make based off of what your goals are. Once you establish what your goals are, and you know you have a vision of where you want to be in life, like for real, like if you haven't made a vision yet, like get you a vision board, take one of those little phone board things from Walmart and put you a whole bunch of pictures of things that you want to see associated with your life. Private jet, big house, pool in the backyard, big family table, marriage, quotes like success quotes, whatever the case is, and that will be the drawing board of where you get your incentive to move in the right direction, right? So you got to be careful of the things that come to like things are going to continuously pile on your plate. There's going to be things that come to you. There's going to be opportunities that seem good, look good in the moment. People ask you to go out in certain places, but you're going to have to remember the fact that you have a brand. Your name is a brand. What are you associating yourself with? If you are trying to be the next that if you're trying to become a preacher, you don't go out to the nightclub with your friends and get drunk and get in the bar fights. It's just not how a preacher should act. Right. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your life. Like for real. Like I'm not trying to tell you to do that. But if you have a certain goal in your life, you have to be conscious of what you are doing with your name. Because if you're not conscious of what you're doing with your name and you're just doing anything with your name, you're going to continuously regress. Every time you try to step into this space where your name is supposed to mean something, they're going to continuously associate your name with things that bring you back down to reality. So you will never be an authority. Never.
Hey man. We gonna end it off here, folks. Just be mindful, like Max said. Be mindful of how you're navigating through life, because every step you take, you leave a footprint. You leave your brand, your name behind you, and you're going down dark paths. That's what your name is gonna be associated with. you be a light to people out here. If you're that shining light that brings people joy and happiness, you bring value to people. That's what your name is gonna be associated with. It's just that simple, you know.
Bruh, it took me way too long to figure it out. Like I knew about branding back then. Like when in my mid-20s, I kind of figured out about it. You know, I was in network marketing at the time, and I'm sitting up here trying to brand the company. Like I'm trying to make the company look good, and you know, big up their products, and you know, big up my upline members and all that other stuff like that. And then somebody told me, like, dude reached out to me and was like, bro, why you go so hard for them? And I was like, bro, that's just the name of the game. Like, you know, pay homage to the people who came before you. He's like, man, fuck that.
Hmm.
When you gonna pay homage to yourself?
Great. Yep.
He said, man, fuck MLM, bro. You gotta brand you. You gotta become the authority, not the company. So once I figured that part out, bro, like I changed my whole mentality of how I view branding in itself. Like that's the reason why we have made some of the decisions that we have made and in Ascension Media. Like we decided that, you know, things can't be grouped up and piled into one conglomerate. Like you can't run a motorcycle channel on a channel that do that do talk about books and stuff like that. Aether Universe can't be branded before or branded behind AJ McMullen. They got to come before. Like, yo, these are like really just like big decisions, right? Like, so for real, like I'm still figuring it out now. I'm still understanding that, bro. Like you as AJ McMullen, you got to stand out in front of what you're doing right now. So like it's a learning curve, y'all. Like real talk. Just think about what you are doing for yourself and what you are doing for your name, because your name is what means something, not the company that you work for, not the team that you work for, not your family, like your like whatever your kids are trying to do. You have to set the standard for your name. You have to set that standard, not anybody else.
Man. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton, and always here with me is the Aaron Mac. But before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember that those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.